Okay. Similarly, this is SS combination. Similarly, SPZ, tell me. SPZ combination. In SPZ combination, again there are two overlapping. One is additive and second one is subtractive. Come on, write. First write additive overlapping. Diagrams are important. Additive overlapping. Tell me, in additive overlapping, S orbital spherical shape, I will take 2s orbital. Okay, plus. Then what about PZ? It is in dumbbell shape, no? Like this. It is a plus, negative. It is take 2pz. Come on, tell me. In additive overlapping, see, there are two wave functions we have studied. When there are same wave functions, amplitude is increased, no? Isn't it? Amplitude increase here also. Then these two combined, so you will get a big lobe. One is a big lobe, another is a small lobe. So this big lobe has positive wave function, negative wave function. Okay, this is a 2s 2pz sigma 2spz molecular orbital. Next is subtractive overlapping. Tell me, in subtractive overlapping, 1s orbital, 2s orbital, positive wave function, right? Plus, come on, tell me, here is what? It should be negative, it is positive, right? Now here remember, this positive, negative, okay, they do not exactly overlap. You write this is positive as it is. This negative, no, this lobe is, no, it's repulse, actually not repulse, but remember like this, it become like this. So this lobe become bigger in size, this lobe become smaller in size. Negative, it is positive. This is a sigma star 2 2, it's a 2 spz, spz, that is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Similarly, spz, no. Now pz pz combination, nothing but overlapping also. PZ PZ. In PZ PZ overlapping, okay, so here also one is additive and subtractive. Additive. In additive, PZ of one orbital, one atom, PZ of another atom. I will take 2pz, 2pz. Come on, tell me, positive positive wave functions. It's just like constructive overlapping, constructive interference. So this lobe become larger in size, these two lobe become smaller in size. So it is like this. Like chocolate. Negative, negative, positive. PZ PZ, it is a sigma 2pz. Yeah, here see, this is one lobe, sorry, nodal plane, not lobe, nodal plane. B, subtractive overlapping. Subtractive overlapping. Tell me, in subtractive overlapping, pz orbital of one atom overlap with pz orbital of another atom. Come on, tell me. So it is a positive wave function, negative function. So whether they exactly intermix? No, they actually repel, right? Due to repulsion, what happened? This lobe, this lobe become larger, it is smaller, this lobe smaller. Here, this lobe also becomes smaller, another lobe is bigger one. So therefore, negative, positive, negative, positive. This is a nodal plane. Nodal plane. So this is, tell me, sigma 2pz. Sorry, sigma star. That is sigma. Okay, all these are sigma molecular orbitals. Next, pi molecular orbital. Come on. What is pi molecular orbital? The molecular orbitals are formed by, yes, lateral or sideways overlapping. So therefore, it is formed by sideways or lateral overlapping of atomic orbitals. It is formed by sideways or lateral overlapping of atomic orbitals. Can you tell me which overlapping gives pi MO? So the following overlapping gives pi MO. One, px, px. Second is py of one atom, py of another atom. Only these two gives pi molecular orbital. Okay, let's see px combination. This px combination, again there are two types of overlapping. One is additive and subtractive, obviously. So write AR1 additive overlapping. Additive overlapping. Tell me, in additive overlapping, obviously px is a perpendicular to the pz, right? Pz, no, this is px of one atom, take 2px. Another is 2px. Okay, it is a additive overlapping, no? Sideways. Come on, tell me. In additive overlapping, obviously psi BMO is equals to psi A plus psi B. Now what happened? Tell me. This positive part overlap, negative overlap. So this is a internuclear axis like this. So by overlapping these two, you will get like this. Okay, it's just like banana. So this is a positive banana, negative banana. Now this is a nodal plane. There is a one nodal plane in px additive overlapping. Which orbital? Pi 2px molecular orbital. Next is subtractive overlapping. Subtractive overlapping. In subtractive overlapping, let us take 2px of one atom, 2px of another atom. Since it is a subtractive, take the signs are opposite. Okay, come on, tell me. So this is a psi star ABMO is equals to psi A minus psi B, because it is a subtractive. Come on, tell me what we expect. This positive negative, it's a destructive. It is a destructive because all are repel, no. Therefore, due to repelling, no, you will get like this. Okay, it means these two come this side. It is a positive, negative, and these two lobes goes that side. This is negative, this positive. It is a pi star 2px. Here important is it has two lobes. This was the possible question. This is not lobe, nodal plane. It has two nodal plane. This is also one nodal plane. Then last one is another overlapping is what? Py combination. Py combination. Tell me, in Py combination, now this Py orbital is perpendicular to the internuclear axis. It's just like Px, no? So Py combination exactly similar to Px because Px also perpendicular to the internuclear axis. Py also perpendicular to the internuclear axis. Therefore, in place of x, if you write y, it becomes that only. Take as it is. You write another diagram, but I am showing here only. That's it. Everything is same because Px and Py both are perpendicular to the internuclear axis. Right. What is bond order and how to calculate bond order? So there are many questions. 90% questions of this topic is based on this bond order, bond length only. Let's see in detail what is bond order. So tell me. In previous class also we have studied the bond order. Bond order is nothing but it is a number of bonds present between. Yes. The number of bonds present, number of covalent bonds, number of covalent bonds present between two atoms. So number of covalent bonds present between two atoms called bond order. Like for example, let us take A single bond A double bond A, like A triple bond A. So can you tell me what is the bond order of this one? Here is 2, here is 3, because the number of covalent bonds 1, 2, 3, right? So therefore bond order is nothing but number of covalent bonds present between any two atoms is nothing but we call bond order, right? Then how do you calculate bond order and its important characteristics? So let's say calculation. So calculation of bond order. Bond order can be calculated by formula. Bond order is equals to half into NB minus NA. So this is the formula to calculate bond order, where what is the NA equal to NB equal to? NA equal to number of antibonding electrons. Okay. Antibonding electron. What is NB equal to? Number of bonding electrons, right? Number of antibonding electron, number of bonding electrons. It means if you know the number of antibonding, number of bonding electron, it is possible to calculate what? Bond order. We can calculate bond order easily. right? This is one method. Another method is we have studied in resonance. Do you remember how to calculate bond order? If molecule has resonance structure, bond order also equal to number of bonds in between two atoms in all resonance structures, right? Yes, number of bonds between two atoms in all resonance structures divided by total number of resonance structures. So this is already we have studied, we have written. Okay, this is the formula to calculate bond order when the molecule can exhibit resonance, right? Okay, now here we want to study only this. Let's see characteristics. What are the characteristics of bond order? Come on, tell me. First characteristic, bond order may be negative, it may be positive, even it is a whole number, it is a even fraction, even it is zero also. So therefore bond order may be positive, it may be negative, it may be even zero also. Bond order may be negative, it may be positive, it may be zero. Next, 2, bond order may be, it may be whole number or it may be fraction also. Bond order may be whole number or it may be fraction. Next, third one important, bond order is inversely proportional to bond length. This is also we have studied in bond parameters. It means when bond order increases, bond length should be decreases. For example, let us take carbon-carbon single bond, double bond, triple bond. We have studied. This is alkene. What is the bond length? You must remember 1.54 angstrom. Alkene 1.34. Alkyne 1.20 angstrom. So now tell me, this is bond length. Number of bonds are 1, 2, 3. As the bond length increases, then what happens? Bond order increases, bond length is decreases. So therefore bond order is inversely proportional to bond length. Next, fourth characteristic, bond order also directly proportional to bond dissociation energy. Bond dissociation energy. It means when bond order increases, bond breaking energy is increases. Like for example, carbon single bond, double bond, triple bond. In which case more bond energy required, more energy required to break the bond? Triple bond, right? Then next, as the number of bonds increases, the stability of molecule also increases. So therefore bond order, fifth one, bond order is directly proportional to stability of molecule, right? As the bond order increases, the stability of molecule is increases. Okay, next, sixth characteristic. Sixth one is, in a molecule A, if number of bonding electron, number of anti-bonding, in a given molecule, if NB is greater than Na, so what is, then remember bond order become positive, molecule is stable and exist. It means when number of bonding electrons are more than number of anti-bonding, then you will get bond order positive. Yes or no? See here only, if bonding is more than anti-bonding, so bonding minus anti-bonding is positive, then molecule is stable and exist. Similarly, if number of bonding is less than number of anti-bonding, then tell me what is the bond order? Bond order become negative, molecule is unstable. See, you know what is the meaning of bond order negative? Bond order negative means molecule, is there any bond between any two atoms? No, there is no bond between any two atoms, means molecule does not exist. Molecule do not exist. C, if number of bonding equal to number of anti-bonding, so this is bond order is negative, it become order now positive 0. Bond order 0 means there is no bond between any two atoms. If there is no bond between any two atoms, molecule does not exist. So therefore here also molecule do not exist. Okay. Now here see, there are some questions in previously appeared questions also based on these three concepts, these 3 points. If NB is greater than Na, bond order positive. So remember, number of bonding electrons are more than number of anti-bonding, molecule is stable and exist. Then here in this condition only you will get bond order is positive, right? Next, NB less than Na, NB equal to Na, bond order positive, bond order negative, molecule does not exist. Okay, right. Suppose question is like this. There is a molecule A2 something, don't write, just listen. Molecule A2. This molecule A2 converts into A2 plus by loss of electron, right? Then if A2 molecule lost electron from bonding, what happened? If A2 molecule lost electron from anti-bonding, what happens? Right? I repeat once again, listen here. A2 molecule has converted into A2 plus. In the formation of A2 plus, if A2 lost one electron from bonding, its bond order is decreases. Bond order decreases when A2 lost electron from where? From bonding molecular orbital. Yes or no? You see here only. Right? Next, if A2 molecule lost electron from anti-bonding molecular orbital, bond order is increases. It means the statement is this: the loss of electron or removal of electron from bonding molecular orbital, bond order is decreases. Okay, loss of electron from anti-bonding molecular orbital, bond order is increases. Then bond order increases, molecule become stable. Bond order decreases, molecule become unstable. Okay, write one note. Write note. If the molecule lost electron from bonding molecular orbital, BMO, bonding molecular orbital, its bond length is, what happened? Decreases. Its bond length is decreases and stability also decreases. Its bond length is decreases and stability decreases. Whereas molecule lost electron from anti-bonding molecular orbital, its bond order increases, and stability what? Increases. Okay. Next, last characteristics of bond order is fractional value of bond order indicates, fractional value of bond order indicates molecule is paramagnetic. Fractional value of bond order indicates molecule is paramagnetic. Okay, do you know what is the meaning of this? If the bond order of any molecule, if BMO of any molecule is like 0.5, 1.5, fractional no, 2.5, any fractional value which indicates it must be a paramagnetic. Do you know when you get this 0.5, 1.5 bond order? Where there is a free electron, unpaired electron. If molecule has unpaired electron, then only you will get bond order is what? Fraction. If molecule has bond order fraction, it must be what? Paramagnetic. But it is not that bond order is always fraction for paramagnetic. For example, question is this, try to understand. The bond order of O2 molecule is 2, 2.0. Bond order is O2 is 2.0, but it is a what? Paramagnetic. Paramagnetic. And similarly, bond order of N2 plus is a 2.5. This is also paramagnetic. It means for paramagnetic, it is not condition that bond order must be fraction. Bond order fraction ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. But if the bond order is fraction, molecule is paramagnetic. That is the condition. For example, O2, it is not a fraction, but it is a paramagnetic. O2. N2 plus 2.5, it is a paramagnetic. N2, it is a 2.5, it must be paramagnetic. There is no question of dia. But even it is a even also, there is a possibility of para. That is the meaning. Okay. So these are the characteristics of bond order. Next, right? Electronic configuration of molecular orbital, electronic configuration of diatomic molecule. Molecular orbital electronic configuration of diatomic molecule, but at homodiatomic molecule. So molecular orbital electronic configuration of homodiatomic molecule. Right, homodiatomic molecule. See, to write the electronic configuration of molecule, we have two energy sequence. Do you remember? One energy sequence is up to nitrogen 14 electron. Up to nitrogen 14 electron, we follow one energy sequence. And 16 and above 16 electrons, 16, 17, that is oxygen and above electron. Above oxygen electrons means fluorine, neon, etc. For we have another sequence, right? So therefore, energy level, right on, energy level sequence for homodiatomic molecule, up to nitrogen in bracket 14 electron. Come on, tell me, up to nitrogen or 14 electron we have sequence. What is the sequence? This is, you must remember, sigma 1s, which has low energy. Next, sigma star 1s. Next, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. Do you know what is the meaning of sigma star? It is a bonding, very good, bonding, anti-bonding. And we know that each molecular orbital can accommodate how many electron? 2 electron. That is a Pauli exclusion principle. So 2, 2, 2, 2, right? Sigma star, sigma star. Then next is, we have pi 2px, which is equals to pi 2py. Why this is equal? Pi 2px, pi 2py are, they are having same energy orbital. They are called which orbital? Degenerate orbital. Next, sigma star, no, sigma 2pz. The next is pi star 2px equal to pi star 2py. Then sigma star 2pz. This is energy sequence. Up to nitrogen molecule, you should follow this energy sequence, right? Then, for example, if you want to write hydrogen electronic configuration, H2 molecule, better take one tabular column. First, take down molecule or ion. Next, molecular orbital electronic configuration. Next, bond order. Next, here is magnetic nature. molecule over or ion, I'll take H2, H2 plus, H2 minus. Come on, tell me. H2, it has how many electron?
2 electron.
First, 2 electron. H2 plus has 1 electron. H2 minus has
3 electron.
3 electron, right? Then tell me, if there are 2 electron, these 2 electrons should be filled with which orbital? First, electron enters into low energy orbital, then followed by high energy, that is Aufbau principle. Therefore, electronic configuration is sigma 1s 2. 2 electrons now. Next here is sigma 1s 1. Here is sigma 1s 2, sigma star 1s 1. Okay, then can you tell me how many bonding anti-bonding here? NB and Na. Bonding is 2, 0. Here, number of bonding means without star is bonding, with star anti-bonding, no. Bonding, anti-bonding 0. Number of bonding 2, anti-bonding 1. So therefore, now tell me, so bond order equal to, it is a half into Nb minus Na, right? Half into Nb minus Na is 1, no? 1. Do you know? Yeah. Hydrogen has 1 bond order. What is the meaning of this? It means hydrogen has 1 bond between HH. Yes or no? Then next, there are 2 electron here. Since there are 2 electron, these 2 electron present in 1 orbital, how they are? Paired. Right. If 1 orbital has 2 electron, it must be paired, no? Paired. Therefore, it is a, tell me, diamagnetic. H2 is a diamagnetic. Similarly, then what about H2 plus? Bond order is equals to half into Nb is Nb1 0. It is 0.5. Bond order 0.5. I told you, when bond order is 0.5 or fraction, it must be paramagnetic. You need not to see this electronic configuration also. You just remember it is a paramagnetic because bond order is fraction. Important. Next is, yeah, this bond order equal to, come on, tell me, Nb minus Na, half into Nb 2 minus 1, then is,
0.5.
it is also 0.5. Then since 0.5, why paramagnetic? Because you see here, there is a 1 unpaired, no, here also 1 unpaired, no, there is unpaired. So due to unpaired, we got here fraction. It is a paramagnetic. Okay. Now question is like this. H2 plus, H2 minus. What is the bond order? Tell me. Bond order is.
H2 plus equals to H2.
So which is more?
H2 is greater.
H2 is greater than. H2
H2 plus
plus
equals to
H2 minus. It's order of bond order. Okay. Next. But here important is stability. Stability. Come on, tell me.
H2 is greater than.
So we studied higher the bond order, more will be the stability. Or bond order directly proportional to stability. So which is the more bond order? H2. H2 is more stable, right?
H2 plus.
Then next is what?
H2 plus.
So then H2 plus, H2 minus, both are having same bond order 0.5, 0.5. Whether they are having same stability? No. Stability also depends on bonding and anti-bonding electrons. We have studied. Bonding electron stabilize the molecule, anti-bonding electron destabilize the molecule, right? So tell me, so bonding electron stabilize, anti-bonding destabilize. Where anti-bonding electron present?
H2 minus.
So H2 minus has anti-bonding electron, right? Then H2 plus has only bonding electron. Therefore, even one anti-bonding also it stabilize more, right? So therefore, now which is more stable? H2 plus is more stable than H2 minus. So here hint is anti-bonding molecular orbital electrons destabilize the molecule. ABMO electrons, important, destabilize the molecule. Okay, taken. Then similarly, write down question. Write the molecular orbital electronic configuration. Write the molecular orbital electronic configuration of following and calculate bond order of following and calculate the bond order. Take this: helium 2, lithium 2, beryllium 2, boron 2, carbon 2. Just calculate this. Leave the space, you do it later. Okay, take the same tabular column. One first column molecule or ion, second column electronic configuration, third column bond order, fourth column magnetic behavior. That is also important. Helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. Till carbon you calculate it later. Okay, now next, right? But majority questions are based on nitrogen. That's what I wanted to calculate, nitrogen. Now take the tabular column: molecule over ion, first molecule or ion. In second column, molecular electronic configuration, next is bond order, next is magnetic behavior. Okay, here is nitrogen, N2 plus, N2 plus 2, N2 minus, N2 minus 2. Make it fast. Come on, tell me N2. N2 has how many electron? 14. This is 13. Next 12. Loss of 2 electron. 12. Next 14 plus 1, 15. Next 16. 14 plus 2, 16 electrons. Okay. Then next, write electronic configuration. 14 electron we should fill in this in this energy level. Tell me where the first electron enters. Sigma 1s2. The next is sigma star 1s2. Next is sigma 2s2. Next is sigma star 2s2. See, sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. Till here is same for all the molecule. Now here, till here, how many electrons filled? 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Still, how many electrons should we fill? 6. Now tell me, after this electron enters into pi 2px, pi 2py. So it is pi 2px 2, pi 2py 2, because these two are degenerate. Now it is become 10 over here. Next to electron. After filling this electron should be entered into 2pz. So that is sigma 2pz2. This is electronic configuration. See students, important is this only. In nitrogen, where the last electron is present, there are many questions based on this. Please try to understand. If you remember nitrogen, you can understand remaining all. We will go for shortcut. So remember, in nitrogen molecule, last 2 electron present in sigma 2pz. Then, now tell me, if in nitrogen last last 2 electron 2pz, then what about nitrogen plus? So nitrogen lose electron from bonding or anti-bonding? Bonding. Therefore, So everything is same. I'll write only last one is sigma 2pz1. This is same, no? Next, then here it is everything is same. Now here 2 electron lost from where? Sigma 2pz0. Next here is what? Now after sigma 2pz2, electron should be entered into pi 2pf, pi star 2px 1, pi star 2py 1. That means now where electron should be written? Sigma 2pz is 2 is as it is, then pi star 2px 1 equal to pi star 2py 0. Okay, need not write 0. It means when here to convert nitrogen to nitrogen minus, electron should be added to anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, that's what now tell me, when you add an electron to anti-bonding, whether N2 minus is stable, unstable, right? Anti-bonding electron always destabilize the molecule. Now here tell me, this is also everything same, sigma 2pz, it is 2, then what? Pi star 2px 1, then pi star 2py 1. So 2 electron enter into anti-bonding molecular orbital here, right? Now come on, tell me what is the number of bonding electron, anti-bonding. So bonding electron, tell me how many bonding electron? 2, 4, 6, 8, right? 10. So remember, nitrogen has 10. Not only nitrogen, oxygen both are having 10 bonding electrons. Bonding is 10. Then anti-bonding are 2, 4. Right? Then tell me, it is 3. Bond order 3 in nitrogen, N2. So there are some questions based on how many bonding electron, how many anti-bonding electron. Remember, nitrogen has 10 bonding. How many anti-bonding? 4. Right? So 10 minus 4 is 6. Huh?
6 by
2? Yeah, okay, 6 by 2, 3. So therefore, they ask directly question, how many bonding, how many anti-bonding. How many pair also they ask, how many bonding pair, anti-bonding pairs. Pairs. 10 electron means 5 pairs. Here 4 means 2 pairs. Okay. Now here, what about bond order here? It is 9, no? Electron removed from where? Bonding. 9. 9 minus 4. Next, N2 plus. There are how many electron? 2 electrons removed from bonding. 8 minus 4. Next here, bonding. Tell me, half into. Now electron, where the electron added here? Anti-bonding means bonding is 10 only, no? 10 only minus 4 become 5. Next, bond order equal to half into. So 10 is same, bonding is same, anti-bonding 5 become 6. So therefore, tell me what is the bond order? 2.5. It is 2. 2.5. It is 2. Next. Now basically one more important property of N2 is para or diana. It is a dia, because you see in all molecular orbital is there any unpaired electrons? Unpaired means one should be there. All are 2, 2. It means N2 molecule is a diamagnetic, very very important. Based on this only we can identify other questions. Diamagnetic. Then next is N2 plus. Now N2 is a dia. When one electron removed from N2, obviously it will become 1 electron, no? So, and moreover, it is a 2.5 bond order. The fractional bond order always indicate para. Next, what about N2 plus 2? N2 plus 2. Para or diana? Dia. Why? You just remove that electron here, 2pz, sigma 2pz0, no, it means 0. If it is 0 means it is a paired, no, all orbitals are paired. Since all are paired, it is a dia. Next, fraction. para. Next is, it's a whole number, but it is pi star 2px, pi star 2pz, 1. So therefore it is a para. Okay. Now what is the bond order? So which one has highest bond order? First, N2. N2 greater than
N2 plus equals to
N2 plus, it is N2
minus
minus. N2 plus equal to N2 minus. Next, which is greater than?
N2 minus N2 plus 2.
N2 plus 2 greater than? No, N2 plus 2 equal to
N2 minus 2.
N2 minus 2. It's a bond order. Understand? Yeah, there was one question appeared previously in CET. Question is this. Have you taken this? Write the question. When N2 converts into N2 plus, when N2 converts into N2 plus, which of the following is true? Which of the following is true? A. Electron loss from bonding molecular orbital. Electron loss from bonding molecular orbital. B. Bond order is decreases. Bond order decreases. C. Diamagnetic changes to para. D. All. All. It means when N2 converts into N2 plus, so where the electron is removed from? BM, no? Because N2 has lost electron where? Sigma 2pz. In N2 there is a lost 2 electron present in sigma 2pz2, right? So therefore, if you want to remove an electron, you must remove from sigma 2pz2 only. Sigma 2pz become sigma 2pz1. So therefore, electrons are removed from BMO. When electrons removed from BMO, the stability is decreases, right? Then among N2, N2 plus, which is less stable? N2 plus, right? And then what happened? Bond order. Bond order initially it is 3, no? N2 bond order 3. 3 become what? 2.5. Bond order is decreases. It is all correct. Next is N2 is a dia. The N2 plus is para. Dia converts into para. All. So this kind of questions are important for particularly N2 and O2. The majority questions are based on these three. And similarly we have O2, O2 plus, O2 plus 2, O2 minus 2. The same kind of questions based on these two are important. Okay. We'll continue next class.